Hello, this is Sabine at Cross Keys Crafts. In one of my first card recycling videos, I showed you my selection of cards, and I showed you these and said I wasn't quite sure what to do with these. This is one of the few that have got the 12 days of Christmas on them, and there's nothing I can really cut out, so I wasn't quite sure what to do with this. And I also have this one, and I was contemplating whether to create the card where I cut one element out and lift it up. But again, I found like I didn't really want to cut into this. I think it works as a whole image. So then I had a thought the other day, and I thought these would be great as shaker cards. When it comes to shaker cards, although I have a few on my channel already, and I recently made some in my Christmas in July playlist, but I like to keep it simple and I like shortcuts. So the easiest thing to create a shaker card is to create an infinity shaker card with some clear bags. These are the sort of bags you get to pack up your cards when you want to sell them. There are two different kinds. I don't know if the camera picks it up. This one's actually perforated on the sides, which is not a problem because my cards are slimmer, but ideally you have the ones that are sealed off like this, so without the perforation. So I have chosen two large bags. These are, let me just check, they are 7 1/4 square, because these are for 6-inch cards or even bigger. Having said that, this one I think is a bit slimmer. Yeah, that's for 7 inches, but it doesn't matter really, as long as it is the same size or slightly bigger than the actual card base. Or you can cut your card base down. I did that actually with this one here. So as my shaker elements, I'll be using some of these. These, I believe, are from the works. Yes, they are. A neighbour and guest of our pub recently donated them to me. And, well, he said he brought some craft supplies over and said if I could make use of that. I gave quite a few away to a lady who does some kiddies crafting, but with these I hung on to these. So I believe they're not too dear if they are from the works, but I've also had a nice selection similar to this, like different little bags of sequins from, I'm sure it was Home Bargains or B&M, so you don't need to spend a fortune on sequins. So to avoid some rustling noises, I'm going to unpack these now off camera, and then I'll show you how to make the card. For this card here, I have chosen 3 different ones. I like the golden stars. Sorry about the glare there. Let me just zoom in a little bit. I can move my lamp a little bit as well. I've chosen the golden stars because they mimic the ones on the card, but I also liked a bit of red and green to basically pick up a few colours on there, so I think these will be nice. And I didn't want them all to be the same shape, so I chose these stars and the round sequins here, and the little red hearts are actually from a different selection of rhinestones. And for the other card, I've chosen these stars here, the iridescent stars. They're also from the works, and these silver specks here. I think they might be from the works as well. I think they came in a set of 4. I've had these for ages. So, and it's so simple to make the card. All you need to do, just zoom out again, is to place your card in the bag. Please ignore the message on the back. It hasn't come through. If I had a message that you could see on the other side, I wouldn't be using this. So let me just cover this a little bit whilst I'm working on this. I didn't think about that beforehand. So all I'm doing now is I'm folding over the edges. I'm using some clear tape to stick the edges down. If your card filled the whole bag, that would be fine, but this is the one that's perforated and I don't want this to show, so I'm just putting some clear tape all along there, a little bit at the bottom as well. and the same on the other side, but I don't want this to be too tight, so I'm leaving a little bit of a gap. I'm not quite sure how the camera picks it up, but I'll show you that in a moment. So I'm leaving about 1 millimetre or 2 extra, and that will give me the wiggle room to put plenty of sequins in. You could also put some glitter inside, but I'm always a bit conscious that that might be too static. So I've got plenty of room in here now, so I can pour this in. I don't want too many really, but enough to fill the card. I think that's enough of them. These bags are a bit sticky from the packaging, so I can be quite generous because I've got plenty of sequins here. So just folding this over just for a moment to have a look if I've got enough in there. Yeah, I think I could do with a few more of the hearts. So, and once I've filled it, all I need to do is turn it over. Let me just cover the message again. And basically, I can seal the bag off if I wanted to, or I can just fold the whole thing over. I think what I will do is actually cut it off here where I've got the extra flap, and then fold this over with tape again. I quickly do this off camera. I've also filled my second card or bag here. It's really up to you whether you want to fold the corners in a little bit and then fold them round, but I find that gives too much bulk, so I just like to fold them straight, make sure they don't stick out on the side, and then stick them down. With the top, I'm trying to keep that tight for the pure reason that I don't want any of the sequins, especially with the smaller ones. With the big ones, it's not too much of a problem. I don't want these to go over the top there and go onto the back. So just trying to keep it as flat as possible. There is a bit of bulk, and then you'll find you've got a bit of creases in there, but it doesn't matter for the when we're sticking it down. So this one here, I decided against putting the silver ones in, so I just put the white stars, and I think that's nice enough, and then move quite nicely here. So all that's left to do now is to stick them on the card bases. To adhere this bag to the card base, I just suggest double-sided adhesive. You could use some small strips. I'm just using this cheap, wider one. I'm just tearing it. It doesn't even have to be perfect. The only thing I want is to hold these bits in place, the flaps in place. I don't want to go over the edge either. Could have done that a little bit better by cutting it. Sometimes I take too many shortcuts, so that'll be a bit neater this way. Using my non-stick scissors, that's quite helpful when you're cutting tapes. See, I'm getting would be going over there a little bit, so I need to cut that down a little bit. So, and then I'm just placing a little piece on the top here and at the bottom, just to make sure it's definitely adhered everywhere. I'm contemplating whether I want another little piece there. I think I will just do that. So I can take the release paper off everywhere. will just put another piece there as well. So don't do what I just did. Don't tear your tape. Take it off, cut it off properly. So now make sure you've got the opening of the card or the hinge where you want it. This one needs to go this way up. So, and I'm just hovering it over the card. This one's a bit smaller than the card base. With the other one, it was the exact size. And I'm just placing it down and pressing it down. Opening it up as well and pressing from this side. So we've got a bit of bulk because we've got a bit of air in it as well. But it adheres nicely and it shakes nicely as well. Got a bit of, can you see, a bit of air in there, but it doesn't matter. Might even be because it was warped a little bit. So yeah, I think with this one I found a little sentiment that I can stick on there. I think that would fit nicely at the bottom. So again, I will just use the double-sided adhesive and just quickly stick that on. And then that's the 2 cards finished. Really, really quick, really easy to make. And I think another good use for my cards for the recycling. So, pop that there. Yeah, I like this. Again, sorry about the glare, just move that a little bit out of the way. It is late, don't have any daylight. So yeah, this is the other card. So you see how freely these move. But if the recipient wants to set it up, they will fall to the bottom here. Yeah, I think this is really cool. I love a shaker card. So yeah, and if you like these 2, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, there might be the odd one Christmas in July card coming up. I don't know yet. Yeah, but if you're otherwise interested in what I'm creating, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video. I wanted to give you a little update on my cards that I created in the video that I'm going to link below. Some cards here didn't quite work out because of the glue, and these I embellished a little bit later. I think I mentioned in the video what I had planned to do, but I didn't show it because I wanted to finish filming. So with this one here, I just put some glossy accents on all the little berries, and I think the effect is quite nice. I'm not quite sure how well the camera picks that up. And with this one here, I just put some stickles on all of the red berries. I think this is quite nice. And with this one here, I put some white stickles here on the bird tummies, and I put a few accents here. I didn't bother about putting too much there because there are too many white berries, and I thought if I start somewhere, I'll have to do it all over. So these are 2 cards that I managed to rescue a little bit. The problem was that I can show you that with these here, that the wet glue that I used, I think I used the magic glue, it left some marks, especially here on this metallic paper. Actually, I don't know if you can see that, it's actually creased and sort of really, really funny. So with these 2 though, it seemed to dry okay. It's not as lumpy as it was before. So with this one here, I haven't even stuck it down yet, and I haven't stuck them on card bases yet, but I will do soon. With this one here, I just put stickers on the Christmas, and again, I'm not sure if the camera picks it up, but it's really nice. And it takes the focus away from the few lumps that are left here. With this one here, because it was quite lumpy in the background here, I just put this through an embossing folder, and that again you know, made the texture disappear. So I can now pop this on the front. I can't put this through the embossing folder, obviously, because it's on foam. But if I place this here now, I think no one can see that I had the lumpy glue in the background. So, but with these two, at first I thought I need to put them in the bin, but then I thought, no, I can stick another star on top, and that's what I'm going to do here. This time, to avoid the problem with the liquid glue, I have put just some adhesive tape on the back of my metallic paper, and then I have die cut this. So I can stick this on here now, and as an embellishment, I just found this here. This is from the craft set I used for my baubles that came with the magazine. So I can just place this on the front here, stick this down, and that will make a nice card. I even thought about die cutting a sentiment, but when I found this, I thought this is nice enough. I might even put it at an angle. I don't know yet. And with this one here, I thought I will just cut a star again. I'm not quite sure yet what colour I will choose. Maybe even some white. I think I've got some white sparkle paper, which is actually is already adhesive, so that would be good. And this one is also from this set here, and I thought rather than having a sentiment on the front, I can just stick this on there, give it a slightly different look. In hindsight, I would then have not put it on the gold, but I've got a bit of gold here in the background, so I think I can rescue this as well. So I just wanted to update you about these cards.